Hello. Oh man. I wish I would have done this video a day earlier because I think that would have helped a lot of people, but I think this will still help a lot of people for this next day, or at least to process the last couple days. We had a very intense, we still do, or actually at the peak of a very intense full moon. And if things have been going good for you, fantastic. As always, there's no need, just because there are certain challenges, it doesn't mean for any of us that we have to be experiencing horrible times or a lot of difficulty. But I think that this, certainly, I think the reason why I couldn't quite find the inspiration to do it is because I was battling my own way through this. Um, so I hope this helps to at least process the last couple days. But regardless of whether things were really good or not, I think it's really good to focus on what's going on, and what challenges exist. As always, that's always the goal. So, of course, with every full moon, it's intense. Naturally, it's just how full moons are. You have the sun on one side of the earth, and then you have the moon on the other, and they're pulling in opposite directions. And it can be a wonderful thing. One of my favorite things during a full moon is to go do a drum circle, and it's really, really enjoyable. Or to express myself creatively. I wrote a song yesterday. There's all these different ways, and I think it's important to express ourselves during any full moon, especially during the last day and a half and for the next day, in as emotionally cathartic way as possible. So for you, if that means creating art or watching a movie that really gets you to feel, I think a huge part of this is spending time with people that you want to spend time with, who get you naturally. And then there's the challenging part of this, and this is on a macrocosmic and, of course, a microcosmic scale. We have Mars and Saturn conjunct in Aquarius. And what this means on the macrocosmic is pretty apparent. We're all being restricted as per our activities, as per our freedom, for the good of society, for the good of people, so we don't keep spreading the virus. And this is essential. Naturally, though, it can be very challenging, and on a microcosmic scale, we're being impacted by this macrocosmic situation, exemplified by this conjunction of Mars and Saturn in Aquarius. And on a personal level, we're being impacted, and it's going to be different for every single person. I think a lot of people are experiencing, um, it's hard to generalize, but I think a huge part of it is going to be miscommunication or lack of communication or lack of clear thinking. Sometimes the communication is clear, it's just people are thinking very differently. That's something that I've been struggling with the last 2 days. I won't get into personal stuff too much, but it's been very frustrating. And oftentimes, this lack of communication or lack of clear thinking, etc., will have to do with somebody who's very close to you, and you can't really do anything about it. And that's a big part of the Mars and Saturn conjunction. And we have the Venus and Gemini too, which has to do with people who are very close to you. As always, we cannot control the people around us. I think that's a key thing to keep in mind. We can't even control the circumstances of our own life, as we can see during times like this. And this isn't saying that we should just give up or anything. What we can control is our reactions. What we can control is, and I don't mean control in you will act like this, not like that. I mean in a being accountable, being responsible, finding ways to grow so that you don't react automatically and end up, I think, especially with Mars and Saturn conjunct, yelling and just totally losing your cool and just acting out in a rage and saying, texting or calling and speaking or writing and posting something that you later come to regret, because it's, even if your perspective, emotions, thoughts are valid, you've lost control. You've automatically made it extremely difficult to be able to recreate peace, let alone with a full moon. So, some of the best ways to handle this is realize what you can control. Focus on growing from the inside out. Focus on doing what you can do to make your life better, to express yourself. I was just about to sit down and do this video right now, and then I realized, I need to go work out because I'm not clearly here. I'm still a little bit all over the place. That is a key thing. I know I've been saying that a lot. It's good during any time period, but especially during this one with Mars and Saturn. You know, we might not be able to get to the gym. It's frustrating, especially if we're paying dues. But what we can do is with body weight, we can still do push-ups, we can still do sit-ups, we can still lift weights if we have weights at home. We can lift the family dog. Oh, great, that's 30 pounds right there. You know, be nice to the dog though. Don't be, you know, be nice to the dog. But the key is to do what you can with what you have. I know it's frustrating to look around at the world and say, I can't do that, I can't do that, that's not happening, that's canceled. It's normal to feel frustrated with that, but don't get caught up in that, because otherwise, especially over the next couple days, even past the full moon will go into Scorpio. So for today and then 2 days after that, so basically, what's today, Wednesday? Now it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We want to be channeling our emotions in healthy ways. It's really important. And even if the last couple of days have been a shit show for you with this full moon, it's always possible to reclaim your sanity, reclaim your calmness, your coolness, your collectedness, to breathe, to reclaim your breath, and to just focus on doing what you can and communicating in helpful ways. It's okay to be angry, it's okay to be frustrated, but don't say things that you don't mean. Don't lose control. That's what you can do, and that can make all the difference. It does make all the difference. And as per the macrocosmic stuff, that'll lift. It's out of all of our control. I mean, it's in all of our control collectively as a species, but it's out of our individual control. So we have to just go with it. So on a microcosmic scale, focus, like I was saying before in the last couple of videos, Mars and Saturn are in Aquarius. Focus on what you can do for the long term for your growth. Learn new information, learn new skills that relate to your profession if you're not able to work right now. If there aren't really any skills, I mean, I want you to challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to find creative ways to make yourself a better mechanic, a better cosmetologist, a better whatever your job might be. Challenge yourself. There are ways if you think inventively, always. And especially with these energies, there's so many gifts available to us right now. If we think inventively and if we persevere and find a solution. If we look for a solution, keep going until we find it. So I challenge you to do that in a positive sense. But even if it's difficult to find something, again, don't give up. But even if it's difficult to find something, this is such a great time to learn and to grow as individuals, as human beings. So make the most of it. I know it's frustrating. I know that there's a lot of no being told to each one of us around us, but focus on what you can make a positive yes for yourself and just keep doing that. As always, I'm doing readings. Again, I adjusted my recorded audio and video readings. So if you're interested, the prices for that are a lot more feasible. And I really recommend getting a reading, as always, if you're interested in one. The information for that is in the About section on YouTube and the Bio section on Instagram. Infinite love to you, my friends. Namaste. Day by day, we're getting through this. And with the Venus and Gemini, we can have a lot of laughs. So spend time, again, with those that get you, that you can laugh with, that you can be yourself with, that aren't causing you great difficulty during this time. And when possible, for those who are causing difficulty, to be able to communicate clearly, that would be great. Mercury will go into Aries. I don't know the exact date, but I'm guessing probably about 4 or 5 days from now. We'll talk about that in future videos. But that's going to help a lot for people to be able to think more clearly. Yeah, we'll get into that when that comes.